All right, appreciate you guys for coming out.
No problem.
No problem.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. I'm Alex.
Pharrell.
David.
All right, let's work. So, when it comes to life, there's a lot of things that I'm passionate about, I could say, but one of the main things I'm passionate about is fitness. And my fitness journey was a little rocky in the beginning. Started off running, starving myself, doing all kinds of things to try and lose some weight, but then eventually I found the gym. And once I got into working out and I started developing my own routine, it became so much fun. I started seeing results. But then eventually there comes a point where sometimes we go a little bit too hard. I was a little bit younger, I was 19 years old, and what ended up happening was I actually hurt my back. I slipped a disc trying to deadlift 315. In my defense, I actually did it though, right? At least got it done. You know what I'm saying? At least got it done. But, you know, unfortunately at that time I slipped a disc. So I had to go through physical therapy, I had to go through this and that. And something good actually came out of that injury, other than me being more cautious in the gym. It actually made me start to develop more of a keen interest to understanding the human body and just how to preserve it through stress, through management, you know, managing injuries, which is why I got into studying corrective exercise and athletic training. Because I feel like if you look good, that's great and all, but if you actually can perform good, I feel like that's where the real gold is. And that's why I went from working front desk and going into sales, I ended up going into personal training. And that's why I hope to have my own personal training business one day, because I feel like I can attack that beast from a different angle, right? I feel like instead of just focusing on how you look or just trying to make a specific sports team, because I feel like the gym has that stigma that only certain people belong in there, but in reality, I feel like everyone should. And that's why I feel like everyone should have at least a level of athletic training and corrective exercises into their workouts. So corrective exercises pretty much touches on just making sure the body moves correct. As self-explanatory as that sounds, it could get a little bit confusing because there's so many different nuances to the body that we need to understand. That's where somebody like me would come in and help you with that. Same thing with athletic training. If I said athletic training, what would you guys think of right now?
Anything to prevent injury, you know, performance improvement, and honestly, just overall, just being.
Well, what kind of? My main question would be, I guess I could have explained that a little bit better. What kind of person would you imagine if I said athletic? If I said this person does athletic training, what would you imagine?
A guy who can do it all.
Yeah, but a guy who can do it all in like what sense? Would you say an athlete maybe?
Yeah, complete athlete.
Right?
Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, okay, yeah, perfect. So Ronnie Coleman, right, a bodybuilder. Those guys are in their own category, right? And I feel like that's what that stigma of athletic training kind of belongs to sometimes. Just the LeBron James, the Kobe Bryant, the Messis, the Ronaldos, right? But I feel like if everyday people were doing a little bit of athletic training, that can help them so much. So, you know, with that being said, that's why it's one of my biggest passions, and it's something that I'm currently studying, and I'm also in school as of right now doing the business management program, so that in the future, when I do venture off into my own endeavor, I'll know exactly how to handle that. So I appreciate you guys for coming out. My name is Alex. All right.
Thank you.
Cool.